Hey guys, how's it going? Uh, Trek or not? Planet X, Terry Farley. Cody Michaels, my first time early to a live. There you go. Let's see, we're doing $20 Crown Royal Peach shots today. All right. So, yes, I have the puppy, my dear. She's down here sleeping with Precious. Thank you, Terry. Black alert for Black Friday. Yeah. It's Black Friday here too. Oi. But that's okay. Yeah, I thought I'd come on and do a live just because, like, why not? And let's see what you guys want to talk about and if you guys want to hang out for a bit. So hit that like button if you haven't already. And yeah, Admiral on deck. Yep, not sure if she's going to stick around. Probably not. If she's still here, I did run your idea by everybody yesterday, Sylvia, about the live this weekend, and everybody really wants to see it. So we'll see what we can do about that. We'll see if we can manage to get one done this weekend. If not, maybe next weekend. But yeah. Trek or not, did you grab any Black Friday bargains? I did not. I don't really partake in Black Friday. I hate crowds. I hate going out as it is, let alone on a day as crazy as Black Friday. So I would say no, not really. But yeah, how about you? Did you grab any? ST Scout Guy, I am waiting for my wife to come home from shopping to see how much she spent and how much overtime I'm going to have to work. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, I got two pugs here. And listen, there's a little bit of breathing, but there's no snoring yet. Nope, skint. Well, Trek or not, there you go. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. It's leading into the weekend, and hopefully it's a good weekend. So, SC Skelka, I did buy a 65-inch Roku TV for $228 for my shop. Very nice. Terry says, Captain, I suggest you, if you haven't already, Adam Savage's Tested channel has a cool NCC 1701 film model close review of the Air and Space Museum. Yes, I've already watched that. Everybody's been telling me to watch that. Of course I've watched that. Cody Michaels, did you grab the newest Mirror Hallmark ornaments? We've been collecting those. No, I don't grab the figures. I don't really care about the figures, honestly. I grab just the ships. So I did get the Strange New Worlds one, and I did that review of it on my personal channel. So if you're not a member of the personal channel, you're missing out. Come on. But I grab the ships. I don't grab the figures generally. Trek or not, who needs things when you have Trekyards and interaction? Mon Capitan. JL Young is here. Hello, JL Young. How's it going? Hope all is well. Yeah, hopefully you guys had a good Thanksgiving and can now get ready for Christmas if you weren't already. But yeah, and our live today was a little bit shorter than usual, so we kind of powered through it. Samuel had some things to do. He's got filming tomorrow for another short with Emma, and on Monday, our live at 4 p.m. is going 4 p.m. EST Eastern Standard Time is going to be with Sean Ferrick from Trek Culture. He's going to be joining us because he's going to be in some upcoming Trek shorts, and so we'll be talking to him on Monday, and then on Tuesday, I guess we got Nim, who's going to be joining us. She is Ensign Keeley from the Trek shorts as well. So some good Indiegogo ones coming up. The Indiegogo is going pretty good for Samuel, I think. Not as good as he'd like, but better than he kind of anticipated when it started. So if you guys have not checked out his Indiegogo, go check it out. It is worth it. So, of course, I've subscribed to your personal channel. Of course you do, Cody. SC Scout Guy, Stuart, you are smart for not going out in all of this. I witnessed a terrible wreck today where the person was hurt badly. Well, they couldn't have been hurt goodly, could they? So, but yeah, it's not my thing. Not my thing to be going out on sale days like that. It's not something that I want to do, honestly. So, but yeah, as I was saying, the live was a little short today. Full breakdown review. Not that there was that much to talk about in this episode of Prodigy. So, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. If you have seen it, thank you for watching it. Guys, 16 of you here, 7 likes. Hit that like button if you're able to. Would really appreciate that. It helps us out immensely. So do super chats. I am doing, maybe I'll finish off my Peach Crown Royal tonight. There's not that much left, really. So we'll see how that goes. So if you can, please do. Donnie. Why is there's a disparity here? Come on. The chat is not showing up on my other device. I mean, the chat's there, but Donnie's message didn't come in. There it is. Virtual TrekCon, Star Trek, and Chill Raid. Hello again. Cap and all. Hope everyone is still well. Hey, I like that. This is like a virtual Trek convention. That's kind of cool. Maybe we'll actually do one of those one time where I kind of show off some stuff and do some discussions. That's an interesting idea, Donnie. So, and Donnie, I know you weren't there for the full breakdown and review earlier today, but don't worry, Ozzy gave the episode a 10 out of 10 for you. So, hold on, I just got to do one thing real quick here. I'll close that. I'll go back to my channel. So talk about yourselves for a second. No, none of those. I'll do it later. It's fine. Generation Productions. Hey, Trekyards. Captain Foley. Hello. How's it going? Welcome. Glad you could make it for this hangout where we're just hanging out, doing whatever, talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. Maybe Aaron Waltke will show up again. He showed up at the last little bit of my one last night talking about the episode. So it was nice to see him show up. Good to have him joining the channel. Generation Productions, yeah, okay, got a subject, okay. What do you want to talk about, Generation Productions? We can begin talking about anything. And everything. And nothing. Fart Muffin, rock out with your Spock out. I mean, you gotta pay me more for that. just saying. There was something I was going to talk about. What the hell was it now? I can't remember. Oh, in February 16th, February 16th is the premiere of Picard Season 3. On February 22nd is The Mandalorian Season 3, as well as I think the PlayStation VR 2 is dropping that day. I've already put my name in for a pre-order for that. It's going to be expensive, but it should be all right, I hope. We'll see. So I might get the PlayStation VR 2. Well, I am going to be getting it at some point, but I'll try to get it that first day kind of thing. And they're also releasing a VR game called Star Wars Tales from Galaxy's Edge, which is a cool VR experience by the looks of things. So I'll probably grab that as well, and we will do some VR lives from that. So that should be fun. And I don't know if anybody else is getting the PSVR 2, but it's supposed to be much better than the PlayStation 4 version. And I really enjoy VR. I really enjoy 3D movies. So I'm really looking forward to that. So let me know if you're going to be getting it, the PSVR 2. It's quite a beast. It's quite expensive, but hopefully it's going to be worth it. So anyway, yeah. Just got to figure out how to stream properly from my PlayStation 5, because the PlayStation 5, I don't have a camera for it. And, well, it doesn't matter when I'm doing VR, I guess. But when I did a test stream of Need for Speed from the PlayStation 5, there was no audio from me. So I'm not sure how that, like, what's going on with that. I will need to look at that. Anything you see streamed from me right now is the PlayStation 4. So, Terran Admiral, do you still play STO? No, not really. Every now and then I'll pop on and fly my ship around a little bit, but I'm not really a huge player of STO. I just don't have a lot of time when it comes to that kind of thing. And lately I've actually been playing, I played all through Star Trek Armada. Now I'm playing through Star Trek Armada 2, then I want to do Bridge Commander. So I'm kind of hitting up the old games. So that's a thing. And no, I'm not streaming those. I probably should, but I haven't been. So yeah, it's definitely one, like STO is a good one to keep up on. I do go on occasionally and like update everything and just make sure everything's fine. Like I said, fly my ships around, get some different views of my ship as it's flying, or my ships. I really like that. But I don't play as much as I'd like to. Let's put it that way. Goat Farm MB, hey Captain Ers here. Got a new channel. If you were wondering the name change. Okay, how are you? I am good. Good to see you, Ers. Terran Admiral, I just got their Tier 6 Constitution at random after buying the Legendary Scimitar bundle. Yes, I also have a Tier 6 Constitution class, and I love it. I play it all the time. Dakota Ray Price, have a question. What isn't the Star Trek Monster Maroon? What isn't the Star Trek Monster Maroon made from? It isn't made from a lot of things. I don't even know what it actually is made of. I don't think it's wool necessarily, but it is quite warm to wear. I know that. If you get the proper material, it's a little bit thicker material, as is the undershirt's a little bit thinner, but I don't know what they're made of. I don't know what the Monster Maroons are made of. I just know that they look really sharp on screen. If I knew what they were made of, I might try making one, but I absolutely wouldn't. I would need to get somebody else to make it. I can get a custom one done for about 1,500 Canadian with like everything. I have not pulled the trigger on that. I don't think I'm going to be. Another fun fact, the TOS phaser rifle that I got at London Comic Con this year is finally done, and it should be arriving next Sunday. The guy that built it is going to be dropping it off. So I'll be able to do a video on that as well. So if you like the TOS phaser rifle, it is in the photo of this live in the thumbnail. So not the one I'm getting, but that's a different one. But yeah, if you like the TOS phaser rifle, I'll be getting a really, really good one. So, Terran Admiral, do you think we will see what happened to the Cardassians? What, in Prodigy or Picard? Maybe. They could explain that in either one of those, honestly. I don't necessarily know if we're going to get that, but I mean, it's a possibility, sure. Speaking of possibilities, I think it's possible for us to get to 20 likes. We have 23 people here with only 11 likes. What up with that? Yo, hit that like button if you're just joining us. But yeah, 28 people and nobody's really chatting. So throw out some things. We don't have to talk about Star Trek. That's the other thing I wanted to point out here. We can talk about absolutely anything you guys want. I do have quite a few different interests and things I can discuss. So if there's anything you guys want me to talk about or want to hear me babble on about, this is the time. Let me know. That was a pug. I apologize. Cody Michaels, I like seeing all your phasers. I still want the Star Trek 6 Assault phaser. Yeah, my Star Trek 6 Assault phaser is when I actually got off of Wish. It was a resin one. It's not the big one with the actual like power pack that goes in and stuff. I saw that one at Mission Chicago, and it was a little pricey. It was like $600, and I'm like, I can't justify that. The one I got from Wish, the resin one, is just fine. It's a good weight. Looks really good. Looks realistic enough, and it was like $30, $50, something like that. I can't remember. Terran Admiral, I heard Picard season 3 is the last season of Picard. They should make a show about Captain Sisko. Yes, it is the last season of Picard, and that's cool. They said they might do a movie, but who knows? A show about Sisko would be awesome, but he's in the Celestial Temple right now, so I don't know how interesting that would be. Plus, you wouldn't get Avery Brooks back. He's retired from acting and not healthy, as from what I understand. So I don't know if I'd want a show about Sisko without Sisko. Or a recasting, that wouldn't work. Cody Michaels, I got Gotham Knights on PlayStation 5. Disappointing. Don't recommend. I also have that. I was actually kind of enjoying playing it, if I'm honest. I don't know why everybody's saying it's so disappointing. I've played all the other Arkham's games, and this one, I haven't got far into it, mind you, but I'm playing as Red Hood, and I'm kind of enjoying it, actually. But yeah, like I said, I played for like an hour and a half one day and got into it and haven't really gone back to it, so it is what it is. The opening cutscene is fantastic. That fight was just amazing, so I recommend it just for that alone, pretty much. Trek or Not, a show where Jake goes looking for Sisko, one season to finish it. That would work. A Jake Sisko show would work, honestly. He does look a lot like Avery Brooks now that he's older, so. Cody Michaels, it's the middle. I enjoyed it at first, too. Okay. Terrence Childs, Andor is on right now. I'm having a good time watching the kids join me. Terran Admiral, I'm really excited for Strange New Worlds Season 2. I've really liked Season 1. Yeah, Season 1 was great. It was a nice return to form for Star Trek with the episodic nature and good storytelling. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Season 2 as well. Strange New Worlds is great. But I think the best new Trek out there right now is animated. Either Lower Decks or Prodigy. I think Prodigy's kind of, for me personally, kind of edging out Lower Decks. Lower Decks is more of a fun, more lighthearted approach to Trek, whereas Prodigy is just downright good. It's well written. it's such an intricate storyline. I'm really enjoying Prodigy. So, trick or not, Jake technically 1/4 profit. That's true. Mullen 25. What era of history interests you most? Well, I'm a big Egyptologist kind of guy. Ancient Egypt. I love ancient Egypt. World War II is pretty fantastic. Roman Empire. Um, so many. I just love history in general. But yeah, I think I'm a pretty big Egypt fan, ancient Egypt. So, SC Scout Guy, they should recast the Cisco character and have the rapper Cisco play him. I say no. Terran Admiral, I wasn't sure about Lower Decks when it came out, but now it's one of my favorites. Yep, we weren't sure what Prodigy was going to be like either. I was I was very optimistic about it and said, just give it a chance, it'll be good. But it's for kids. And everybody's kind of like going on about it. And I'm like, just give it a chance. I think it'll be good. And it has not let me down. It has been consistently great. So, and Lower Decks, the same thing. We did not know what to expect from that. And again, it's even though it is kind of more silly and off the, you know, a little bit outside of the box for Star Trek, it is absolutely performing well, and the stories are great. It just everything about it's great. The character arcs are awesome. So yeah, I'm right there with you. Says, "Yep, totally agree. The animated Trek so far is the best. New old Trek, new old Trek. Yeah." Cody Michaels, I love Lord X. However, this season has been hit or miss for me. Prodigy isn't for me, but I'm happy people like it. Have you even watched it, Cody? I don't know how anybody can enjoy Lower Decks and yet not enjoy Prodigy. Prodigy's really good, and it's chugging along at a great pace. We just had Admiral Jellico back, so it's great to see returning characters and such an intricate story. I don't know how they're going to deal with what they're dealing with. It's so well done. I can't say enough good things about it, honestly. So there is that. Donnie Pearson, although I love Lower Decks, Prodigy, and Strange New Worlds more, I'm cautiously looking forward to the final season of Picard. I'm right there with you on that one as well, Donnie. I've heard really good things about season 3 of Picard. Got a few little insights here and there as to what happens in it. And yeah, it's promising to be pretty great. Hopefully they don't screw it up somehow. I mean, odds are pretty good that they might. But at the same time, I think enough people have said enough good things about it that, and I know enough of the people that have worked on it as well that just are saying good things, and that's great to hear. Terran Admiral says Discovery is okay now, but I just don't like how they keep doing the Galaxy is in danger story all the time. Discovery is okay at the best of times, yes. Yeah, their storytelling is completely off. Always a big bad, always the serialized storytelling, and not done very well, honestly. So, yeah, Discovery's a thing. Mullen says, "Are we ever going to get a new Trek film? We will eventually, just don't know when." Trek or not, Picard worries me with going back to using old designs. You would think function would be more important than form. Yeah, but we've heard from Terry Metalis. He wanted to really wow the fans with this, so that's why he kind of went with the old school look, just to kind of be like as a gift to the fans. Like, here you go. Like, look at this retro new ship yet old looking ship. And Bill Krause did a fantastic job designing it. And then when it was shown in the trailer, Terry did not get the response he wanted from the majority of the fan base. Well, I wouldn't say the majority, from a vocal part of the fan base about the ship. And he was kind of disappointed, honestly, with how people reacted to it. And that's sad. You know, they just wanted to return to an older style of design aesthetic. I think it's fine. Donnie Pearson says, well, Discovery and Picard are okay modern Star Trek shows. SC Scout Guy, once a week, my kid will say, yeah, we now have a voice. Good for us, bad for you. He loves Prodigy. That's good. That's good. Donnie says, season 1 of Picard was okay, to be honest, as was season 2 premiere. The rest of the season 2 was so-so for me. Yeah, season 2 started out really good. Great episode. Ended with another. The last episode was pretty great. Middle was all garbage, like 90% garbage. Season 1 was all right. I wish they would have done it the reverse. Like, had season 1 be with the TNG cast, and then they shuffle them off. You meet all the new characters like Eleanor and Rios and all that, and then so in season 2 there's less of the TNG cast, maybe 1 or 2 stick around, and you focus on the new characters. Instead, they hire all these new characters, have a couple of great characters, and then season 2 doesn't really do much with them, and gives them all kind of unceremonious exits, because we're not going to see Soji, we're not going to see, you know, the majority of them in season 3. We're going to get Raffi, but who cares? Who wants Raffi? I don't like Raffi. So anyway, Donnie says, still, who am I to judge? You're a dedicated Star Trek fan and a viewer and somebody looking for entertainment, so you're very qualified to judge what they give you to judge. So that's who you are to judge. You know what? Nobody's super chatting, so I'm gonna just take a goddamn shot because I want to have some of this peach schnapps. So cheers. Peach schnapps. Not peach schnapps, sorry. Crown Royal Peach. That's really good. Terran Admiral, I really do think they've done a great job with the Romulans on Strange New Worlds. Did they? Did they? I don't think they did. There's a lot of problems there. First of all, on the bridge of the one Romulan ship in the last episode, you see the quantum singularity drive display. I hate to break it to them, but in TOS, the Romulan ships did not have quantum singularity drives. They actually were powered by warp. So they had warp core, a conventional warp core. They didn't get, it's not quite clear when they got the artificial not quite sure when they got the quantum singularity drive. It was between when we last saw them in TOS or the movie era to TNG, because there was a big gap where we didn't see Romulans, and then they came back. And yes, the Derridex, the new ship, was powered by this quantum singularity core, which was amazing technology. They didn't have it in TOS time, so there's issues there, but whatever. Nobody cares. Nobody will notice. Nobody cares. Anybody that nitpicks that is just being too picky. It's like, no, we're not. We care about the canon. Whatever. Trekyards ship is awesome. Just doesn't fit. Yeah, the Strange New Worlds Enterprise is amazing. Amazing design. It would have been perfect for the 2009 reboot film, because Ryan Church's JJ prize is not. It's a piece of shit. So, yeah. Cody says, I agree with everyone on Picard. I just wanted to love it so bad. Yeah, it kind of ruined Picard a little bit, the character. So, Cody Michaels, they didn't want us. They didn't want to use the TNG cast at all, but now they're desperate. It feels. Yeah, now they're like, nobody likes the show, so and I don't know why you wouldn't want to use the cast. They're all alive. Use them while you can. Uh, Geez, the same thing happened with the new Star Wars films. Like you missed the perfect because of JJ. You missed the perfect opportunity to have Luke, Han, and Leia back together in the same scene while Carrie Fisher was still alive, and they fucked that up royally. So so did Ryan Johnson with the second one. You have them alive. Use them. People want to see them again. They're fan favorites. They're the reason that people are fans of those movies and made Star Wars what it is. So, same with Star Trek. They should have just included everybody in season one of Picard, made it like the season 8 of TNG that we never got, that's many years later. That would have been great. See where everybody's at after all these years. But no, now they're doing it for season 3, which is fine. Better late than never. But all the new characters I feel bad for. I liked Rios. I thought he was amazing. Raffi can. I absolutely hate Raffi. She can go away. It's fine. Elnor, I liked Elnor. He was pretty good. Kind of comic relief, and I liked him. Soji, Soji was all right. I think she would have been better if she had better lines and better motivations for her character, but overall, she was pretty good. Who the hell else was in Picard season 1? Elnor, Raffi, Rios. Oh, Girardi. Girardi really redeemed herself in season 2 a lot. Red Dress helped, but her murdering Maddox in season 1, I hated that, and she just became a murderer. Yes, she was under control. It doesn't matter, honestly. Anyway, moving on. You hear that, Cap, folks? It's not good when they get Captain thirsty. You should try eggnog with that. Eggnog and peach crown royal? I don't know about that. Carwin Morris, Prodigy is the only Trek show I consider Trek canon Trek since Enterprise. What about Lower Decks? Lower Decks is like 100% canon with everything they do. Donnie says, I would say, though, that the score by Stephen Barton would be amongst the things I would love about the final season of Picard. Likewise, Enterprise F and the new Starfleet base. Yeah, Enterprise F making an appearance would be great. Star Trek Picard feels more like they're trying to copy STO. I mean, season 3, yes, I would agree with that. Donnie, on one hand, the exterior of the Titan A was okay for me, to be honest. Yet, on the other hand, the interiors look good, though I love a fan-made kit bash version of that starship a little more. And which one is that, Donnie? The fan-made kit bash version of the Titan A. Which one is that you're talking of? Is that the Shangri-La class by Bill Krause? Because if it is, the Shangri-La class came first. It was around years ago. I'm good friends with Bill. We go to Wonderfest, and I see him every year. So he has been designing starships like that for a long time and building the models. And the new Titan, Titan A, is based off the Shangri-La class, which we did a video on, where we had Bill Krause on the channel. He's done some fantastic designs. His Repulse, his Hood, his Shangri-La, and his Endurance class are all fantastic. We've covered all of them on the channel. So why they won't do a Captain Warp series is beyond me. I'm not even going to answer that. Brian O'Neill Singleton, why do they keep bringing Brent Spiner as ancestors to Data and Noonian? The Sing genes are as strong as neutronium. Somebody pointed out that they're all left-handed, which does not happen genetically. I would assume that they're clones of some kind. That's why they all look exactly alike. Are we going to see O'Brien in season 3 of Picard? He could single-handedly save the series. Probably not. Probably not. The Dark Lord Revan, at least Jonathan Frakes wants to do more Riker acting. He does, yeah. Terran Admiral, I didn't notice the quantum singularity drive display on the ship. We did. It was in, it was one or two shots. It was quite prominent actually, which is a big like letdown. Also, the fact that they had the ridges. No, no, no. They shouldn't. But whatever. Everybody has ridges now. No, they don't. They don't. Not even in Picard did all the Romulans have ridges. So I didn't like what Picard did with 709 though. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. James says, caught up with all the Star Trek shows. Lower Decks rocks. Strange New Worlds, despite some discrepancies, is awesome. Picard season 2 is an improvement over season 1. What? But overall, story could have been better. Prodigy is next on my list. I would say Picard season 1 is far superior to season 2 of Picard. Season 2 could have been, that whole storyline was a great storyline. It was a great idea, but it should have been 4 episodes at most, and then go on to do something else. It should not have stretched that to 10 episodes. It just was not. It wasn't good. They were hanging on stuff. They were dwelling on things. It was just like, stop. Just like taking a piece of gum and like stretching it. It's like, good, it's good, it's good, it's good. And then it starts to do this. And then it starts to get thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner and then snaps. That's exactly what stretching that story out into 10 episodes was like. Donnie says, now that is what I call a house divided. Okay. Generation Productions. I wanted to talk about the electronic USS Enterprise South Bend toy. It looks like a Phase 2. Looks more Phase 2 than it did in TMP. That it was made for, even having 2 docking ports on the bridge. Your thoughts? It was sculpted after the Phase 2 Enterprise. You got to remember that these toys are done before the movies come out generally, so they need to get the stuff early to get in production. And the refit Enterprise, once they've said Phase 2 is not going to happen, they made the refit Enterprise for the movie. The refit Enterprise had the Phase 2 saucer on it at first. The big model had the Phase 2 saucer on it, and then that saucer got damaged because there was a water leak in a roof, and it damaged the saucer, so they made a whole new saucer, and then the refit was officially born. So yeah, they would have got it at the time when it was still has the Phase 2 saucer, or at least got the blueprints for it, so they could build the South Bend Enterprise. South Bend Enterprise is great. I have one in the other room. But yeah, it's very much more Phase 2-y, for sure. It even has a TOS bridge. Similar, yes. It's a little bit different, but Cody Michaels, also Red Letter, said it best when they brought up the making Picard and Data best friends, like Data meant the most to Jean-Luc. People change, and they were pretty close, and the fact that Data died for him would have retrospectively changed his, or retcon, his opinion of Data over the years. They didn't. It wasn't like Data's my best friend. Data's my best friend. No, Data was a very important part of his crew, and somebody that looked up to Picard as being like perfect, one of the best examples of what a human being can be, because Data wanted to be human. So when somebody like that sacrifices themselves for you, you're going to look back on that 7 years you served with them and go, there's a lot of missed opportunities there, but there were also a lot of good times, and it's going to retroactively change the way you look at that person. So I have no problem with that. I think Red Letter Media, yeah, they're funny, but they sometimes go a little bit too overboard with their stupidity. Rios was a dollar store Han Solo knockoff after Halloween. P.S. I hate the alcoholic mentality. Ill veteran trope with a passion. Okay. I liked Rios. I thought it was great. Carwin Morris. No, I don't consider Lower Decks canon as it's too self-referential and feels like the crew are fans of the show and not characters in the show. Well, then you're missing the point of the show, I think. But you do you. You do you, man. O'Brien is off smoking in the Jeffries too. Brian O'Neill Singleton, in your opinion, is George Takei beating a dead Packlet over Bill Shatner's 40-plus year behavior? Yes, in my opinion, he is. I think it's something that struck a chord with fans. Like, there's rivalry going on there. And he's just used it and expanded on it, and hasn't let it go. Yeah, sure, maybe Shatner, it was an asshole to him. That wouldn't surprise me. But you don't have to hold on to it for so long and use it every opportunity you get to vocalize it. I think it just struck a chord with fans, and he's just taken it and run with it, and he should let it go at this point. It's just, you're holding on to bitterness and hatred, and you shouldn't. So just ignore anything Shatner does. You don't have to comment on every fucking thing he does. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Shatner either, but I'm not going to, shit all over him every chance I get. James McGill, what do you think of Strange New Worlds' young James T. Kirk? Paul Wesley, or whatever the hell the actor's name is, not a good Kirk. That being said, we only seen him in one episode so far, and it was kind of an alternate reality where he was captain of the Farragut, not a Constitution class. So that would make somebody a little bit different character-wise, but he doesn't have the gravitas or the screen presence that even Chris Pine has for Kirk. He just does not make a good Kirk, in my opinion. I don't know why the fuck they cast him. But he will be in season 2, so we'll see. Maybe we'll get more Kirk-like attitude from him. And I don't mean emulating and impersonating William Shatner. It's not what I mean. It's just there's got to be a gravitas to Kirk. He is Kirk. And this guy is completely lacking that. There's no screen presence from this guy. Brian O'Neill Singleton, any news that you heard regarding the Diamond Select Cobra Head phaser that they announced several years ago? I need to complete my menagerie. Diamond Select is, as far as Star Trek goes, is dead. They promised us a Miranda class. They promised us a Reliant ship. They promised us the Enterprise C. Luckily, I've got their San Diego Comic-Con Enterprise C, the gold edition up there, but it's got no electronics in it. But they promised us a regular one, so we were going to get the Reliant, we were going to get Enterprise C, and you had the Cobra Head phaser. I don't think they have the licensing for Star Trek anymore. That's kind of why it stopped. But yeah, unfortunately, Diamond Select doing Star Trek stuff is not going to happen. Delilah, how do you get pre-evolved Organian DNA? Don't know. Good question. Goat. Oh, Urs. Exactly, and same in the real world, like World War II, when a soldier saves another one and loses his life doing so. Yeah. Paul N. Will season 3 of Picard bring back the magic wand repair device from season 1? Best thing in season 1 was the Borg cube, and the saddest was the Borg cube taken down by space orchids. The space orchids thing was pretty bad. Best thing, though, I don't know if the cube would be the best thing in season 1, but Terran Admiral, I think Strange New Worlds is the only new Star Trek that takes place in the 23rd century that is good, but they really need to stop doing stories in the 23rd century. Or make it look like it's supposed to look. It's a pretty simple solution to the problem. Either you do it right, or you don't do it. So, or you say, hey, this is our rebooted, reimagined thing going on. Much like the Kelvin timeline. Yeah, that's what it is. Cody says no one on TJ Hooker or Boston Legal had those issues with him. Just certain original Trek actors. Weird. That is weird. James McGill, what actor you think would have been a better Strange New World James T? I don't fucking know. Anybody? I don't know if I don't know enough about actors to just randomly pick an actor to say he would be good in that role. Brian Singleton, loved your top 10 blaster guns, but I was shocked you didn't mention the laser gun from V or Sequest later seasons and Earth Final Conflict weapons. Perhaps a redo later? Thanks. Well, the thing is, we had to whittle it down to 10, so there was a lot on the list that just didn't make the list because they were our favorites. So, the Dark Lord Revan, do you think we will get a new Star Trek show sometime after Picard is finished? Yeah, I think they're going to go out with a spin-off thing, either like Star Trek The Forge or Star Trek Riker or Star Trek Crusher, I guess. Star Trek, whatever. They're going to go out with something like that, and they're going to do another like 2 or 3 seasons and then change it again. I think it's going to become like the anthology that Discovery was supposed to be. Discovery was supposed to be an anthology series where every season was something different. That got dropped pretty much right away. I still think an anthology Star Trek show would be fantastic. And if they can do that in like 2 to 4 season chunks, I think that would be amazing. Give everybody a chance to shine, even some older characters if you want, or some new ones. Yeah, so there will be, don't worry. Carwin Morris, I saw 3 minutes of Strange New Worlds before my piss started to boil. It wasn't them watching TV that did it. It says they referred to the communicator as the phone. Arg. I got worse from there. Carwin, you're a little too angry for me to talk to, I think, today. That phone thing really bothered Samuel, too, and to me it was just like, you know what? Chris Pike is an old school kind of guy. He lives in a cabin. He rides a horse. He's very much in touch with the old school. Plus, the fucking communicator was sitting right beside an actual antique phone on the thing. So she was probably making a joke. Your phone's ringing because it was right beside the phone, and he likes old things. So I think you're looking a little too far into it. Samuel said the same thing, and I'm like, just relax. Dude, like, look where it's sitting. It's sitting literally right beside his phone. I would make that joke to Sylvia if, you know, the same thing. Like, she had an old-fashioned phone and, you know, her actual, I don't know, her communicator was beside it, and it was Star Trek times. I would be like, hey, your phone's ringing. Ha, 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 what a funny joke. You know, so I think you're looking way too far into that to be that angry. So chill out, man. Damn. Terry Farley, one of the worst Shatner guests starring was a radio DJ on the weird Krampus movie. He's done some good, interesting stuff. Delilah would think that it would make a Star Trek show set in a different government. Oh, like the Klingons or the Romulans. Yeah. Terran Admiral, I wish they would make the warp and phaser effects look like they did in TOS and TNG. Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree with that. Especially the warp effect. The only one that gets it right is Lower Decks. So. Urs says maybe I should change my channel name to what my old one was. Probably. Paul N. William Shatner is in Range 15 movie. Don't know what that is. Donnie says, to answer James's question, I would say Andrew Gray, whom I noticed as Troy in Power Rangers Megaforce, even though the actor looks like a young Jonathan Frakes in a good way. I did a what if pick that's on my DeviantArt page titled Andrew Gray as James T. Kirk. Well, there you go. Cody Michaels, as I get older, I actually like Shatner more. As I get older, I like Shatner less. So I'm the exact opposite of you in that regard. Donnie says, and Pike is my number one character in Strange New Worlds, followed by Lieutenant Spock at number two and Lieutenant Commander Una. Oh fuck, Chinra. I cannot stand Rebecca Romaine Lettuce. I just, she's not a good actress. She's not attractive. They did nothing with her fucking character. They made her a superhero, and it's just stupid. And every other episode, she had such minimal shit to do. Yeah. Donnie says, I love Shatner more as well. James McGill, let's love to see a Star Trek series during Star Trek movie era or a Lost era. I think it would really expand the Trekverse. I 100% agree with you, but I don't want them touching the Lost era until I know they're going to do it right. If Mike McMahon is in charge, or if Andrew Waltke and the guys on Prodigy are working on it, yes, go for it. I would back it. If it's fucking Alex Kurtzman and somebody I don't know, I'd be very, very leery because you get one shot really to make that look the way it should look. Otherwise, they'll make it look fucking stupid. They'll make the era look completely wrong. And then everybody from that moment forward will be like, that's how it looks. It's canon now. It's like, yeah, it's not though, just for the record. But whatever. Cody Michaels, also Donnie, it's been a bad week for PR fans. Oh yes, that was very sad. Delilah, I like DS9 as a show, but I like TOS uniforms. It's a fair assessment. Paul N, go back and see Rebecca Romaine Lettuce in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit editions. I did see her. She wasn't attractive then either. I don't know what the fucking hype was about her. She's just not my type. I've never found her attractive. So take that for what it's worth. She looked best as Mystique, and that's because she was blue. It didn't look like her, and she's naked, and she had like scales on her. So that's her best performance, I think. But yeah, the Sports Illustrated, no, I remember those back in the day, and they just didn't do it for me then either. Starfleet uniforms are among the things I love best about all generations of Star Trek, says Donnie. Says maybe they should make a series with 3 different crews, 1 Federation, 1 Klingon, and 1 Romulan set in the Lost Era. That would be amazing. I like that. I would back that 100%. Terry Farley, McMahon needs to get lots of our support. Yes, he does. Don P1 is my DeviantArt designation, says Donnie. So go follow Donnie on DeviantArt. I haven't not checked out your DeviantArt stuff, Donnie. You've talked about it a few times, and I keep thinking I need to go check it out. I never have. I keep forgetting. So Donnie says the 2000 movie version of the X-Men introduced me to Rebecca Romaine Lettuce, who co-hosts The Real Love Boat on Paramount Plus alongside Jerry O'Connell. Somehow I plan to catch up on that reality show. Yeah, she's actually married to Jerry O'Connell, which is funny because she's number 1 in Strange New Worlds, and he's Ransom. He plays number 1 in Lower Decks. So Cody says, I actually preferred comic Mystique. I did too, 100%. 100% preferred comic Mystique. But however, in those movies, I think she's perfectly fine as Mystique. So Donnie says they did their cover of the original Love Boat theme tune as well. Oh, did they really? Carwin Morris, I'd like to see a Trek show around the events of the Kittimer Massacre and tell the story from the point of view of each species government. Maybe formatted similar to The Crown, where it's told over decades. Yeah, that would be fantastic. I would love a Star Trek show like that. It's funny because I'm actually watching The Crown. I'm just like, what, episode 8 or 9 of season 1 right now? It's really good. So you're speaking to me, Carwin. You're speaking to me. Yeah, Strange New Worlds needs to. I just wish visually it was more lined up with what it should be. Honestly, it's the Discoverse. It's a just continuation of the Discoverse, and Discovery is not in the Prime timeline, despite what they tell you. So that's the You got the Kelvinverse, the Discoverse, and the Prime timeline. I'm fine with saying it's the Discoverse, then everything is fine. But don't say it's Prime. You don't shoehorn that in and try to retcon the look of TOS. I mean, yeah, it looks good. It's a good reimagining of what TOS could look like. But as I've said many, many, many times, TOS is a period piece. That's how it looked. Each time they showed it on other shows, they gave it the love and attention it deserved to make it look exactly correct. Trials and Tribulations, In a Mirror Darkly, Relics from TNG. They've really gone above and beyond to make sure that TOS always looked accurate. And then they come along and go, it doesn't really matter. Discovery comes along and says, oh, it doesn't really matter what that era looked like. This is what it looks like now. From now on, this is what it actually looked like. It's like, yeah, no, but okay. James McGill, gotta go. Have a good weekend, everybody. You too, James. Brian Singleton, will you be doing any more guest appearances in Samuel's short trips? Damon, yes, I will. It's going to be a Captain Foley focused one, which is going to be me in the motion picture or the Wrath of Khan era. So, Brian Singleton. Oh, I just read that one. Never mind, Brian Singleton. Philip Gaming is here with a live long and prosper. Thank you, Philip. Paul N. Strange New Worlds will impress me if they make all the Franz Joseph designs on screen canon. They're not going to do that. They can't legally, just due to legalities with the Franz Joseph estate, which is fucking annoying. But they're not going to do that. So don't even hold your breath. You will die. Carwin says TOS looked exactly the way Matt Jeffries designed it. Yes. Cody Michaels, I gave up on the Prime thing long ago. It's all a reimagining. Yeah, so have we. I always refer to it as the Discoverse. You get the odd person that's like, it's Prime. They say it's Prime, so it's Prime. It's not, though. So everything that you see on screen contradicts what they say. So 50 years of history against this anomalous show that just came out that wants to fucking reinvent the wheel. No. This is what holds the weight. 50 years of history and how it actually fucking looks. Cody, that one, never mind. Paul N. Discovery died with the Stacey Abrams as president of Earth. F them. I have no fucking idea who she is, so I don't care. It died way before that, though. The Dark Lord Revan. My personal headcanon in Enterprise is Enterprise Disco and Strange New Worlds take place in the timeline affected by First Contact that self-corrects by the movie era. Enterprise. No, that's just silly. Because yeah, Enterprise was the other anomaly coming along and kind of screwing up canon and history a little bit. But it's the events of First Contact. Well, then that's not the same fucking. They didn't go back to the same Prime timeline then. There's a reason the NX-01 isn't on the wall of the briefing room of the Enterprise D, because it never fucking existed in the Prime timeline. But it did. It just wasn't on there. Why not? Because the Federation wasn't formed then. Oh, okay. So the Federation was formed when the cutter, the old sailing ship was, around. The Federation was formed then, apparently, and the aircraft carrier, and the space shuttle, and the ring ship. The ring ship I don't think was on the wall, but regardless. So they go on the wall. Well, those are the namesakes of the ship. It's like, yeah, the NX-01 was the first fucking starship to leave Earth with the Warp 5 engine and actually make first contact with so many species. You think it's a pretty important fucking ship, it would be on the wall of famous enterprises. Pre-Federation or not. Whatever. It is what it is. Enterprise is soft. I can accept that it's in Prime, sure. Sure, we just don't talk about it for whatever reason. Whatever. Prime something canon. Okay. I totally agree with you, Cap. The only two new series that could be in the Prime are the only Lower Decks and Prodigy. Picard is the Discoverse. Lower Decks 100% in canon Prime timeline, yes. Prodigy is weird because there's a lot of Kelvin-esque things. Not only the music in the show, but the transporter effect, the weaponry, the look of the protostar, like the nacelles and stuff. A lot of people say are very Kelvin-y. I really don't think so, but they're just more advanced Star Trek, like Prime stuff, in my opinion. But so there's a lot of weird Kelvin-y things mixed in with Prodigy, but everything else is pretty solid Prime canon, right down to the Constitution class. We saw the Constitution class displayed on a list of other ships when they were kind of teaching the kids about the Federation, as it should look, with straight struts. So, Spartan King, amen, Captain, preach it. Paul N., have you watched the 3-minute fan sequence of the 1701A departing space dock, Star Trek 6? The RCS thrusters is a chef's kiss. Yes, it's fucking great. And the speed at which they leave, you know, regulations specify thrusters only while in space dock. And so they leave at like 1/4 impulse, and it's like, fuck off. Space dock's way the fuck back there. Yeah, it's much more realistic. It's very well done. Brian Singleton, $5. Can you wish Tommy Mitchell and Belly? Can you wish Tommy Mitchell and Belly and the committee aloha from his Academy classmate Bob? Sure, I don't know who any of these people are, but so Tommy Mitchell, Belly, and the committee, aloha from your Academy classmate Bob. There you go. Cody Michaels, it is what it is. Couldn't have said it better. Whatever. Just make good Trek going forward. Yes. Donnie Pearson says, I myself love the NX-01 as much as I love the other pre-Kelvin timeline enterprises. I'm not a huge fan of the NX-01 personally. Terry Farley, the NX-01 is a very cool ship, but just seems after what TOM in style, even if its nacelles are old design. Generation Productions, I think TNG people fucked up the timeline. TNG Spot created the Kelvin, TNG movies, crew created Enterprise, Disco and Strangely Worlds timelines. TNG screwed up everything. Yeah, fair. Carwin says, if they remade the animated series in CG, like Prodigy style, do you think it would sell? Yes. Yes, just don't make it look like Strangely Worlds. Make it look how it's supposed to look. Make it look like TOS. I would buy that. Absolutely 100% yes. The Dark Lord Reverend, I wish they didn't name the NX-01 Enterprise. A lot of problems solved with a different name. Yes, I totally agree. I remember when it was coming out, this show was coming out, and my brother Steve was like, it shouldn't be called Enterprise. And I'm like, or the ship shouldn't be called Enterprise. And I was like, maybe the ship isn't called Enterprise. Maybe it's like Star Trek going out into the stars, an enterprising venture. So Enterprise as a play on words. And he's like, no, no, you're an idiot. I'm like, yeah, I was trying. Even back then, I was trying to explain away those things, make them make sense. Tara is here. Hey, why is there so much hatred for Discovery? Is the issue technical, visual, narrative? P.S. Stacey Abrams is pressed on. I loved it. So Discovery's got a lot of issues. It violates a lot of canon. Visually, it doesn't look anything like it should for being 9 years before TOS. Storytelling, there's so many plot holes and threads that go nowhere in it. The characters change dramatically between seasons, some of them. There's a lot wrong with Discovery, but that being said, there's also a lot of cool stuff with Discovery that I personally like. So we like to point out the good and the bad here. And I don't hate Discovery. It's just my least favorite of all the new ones. And I'm not the biggest fan of it. So, but I do watch it. It is Star Trek. I will continue to watch it. As long as they make it, I'll watch it. Good or bad. But we always try to find the good in each episode or each one. But there's a lot wrong with Discovery, Tara. A lot wrong. It's don't get me wrong. Okay, Discovery is fantastic sci-fi. It's fantastic generic sci-fi. It's not good Star Trek. I wouldn't say it's fantastic. It's good. It's good generic sci-fi, but it's not good Star Trek. It's good sci-fi, but it's shit Star Trek. So that's how I'll describe it. Terry says TOM, the original movies. Yes, gotcha. Paul, and Enterprise should have been a Daedalus, and then the timeline would be okay. Yes, but there was no Daedalus named Enterprise. There was only like a certain number of those. I have a book called First. What's it called? Foundations? No. Oh, it's called Starfleet Year One, and it talks about the prestigious Daedalus class, the newest, most advanced ship, and how the captains of the other ships were all scrambling to win a place to be captain of one of the 5 or 6 Daedalus classes that we're making. And right on the front page it says, this book is lined up with the original TOS timeline. It does not, the events of Star Trek Enterprise do not exist in this reality, as it should be. And it's really good. It's a really good book. Geraldine Karstensen, $20. Damn it. Spartan King beat me to it. So what he said. What did Spartan King say? I don't see anything from a Spartan King. But I will have a shot for that $20 super chat, so thank you. Thank you very much, Geraldine. Ooh, that one hit a little rough. It's burning. That one tastes like paint thinner. Usually these are pretty sweet. Though. Star Trek Enterprise should have maybe been called Star Trek Explorer, and the first Warp 5 ship being called that or Endurance, but a Daedalus class ship is just my opinion. Yep, no, I totally agree with you, 100%. Philip Gaming, Discovery is a hot mess. You name it, they're doing it badly. The only positive thing I will say about it is that it looks visually appealing most of the time. Yeah, the visuals and special effects in Discovery are fantastic. I just wish the ships didn't look like hot garbage. Like I said, it's good science fiction. It's bad Star Trek. MK, and it's not even good science fiction sometimes with some of the ways with the way they write it. See, I just had a Discovery person writing my dialogue just then, and they went off the rails. So, MK Dumas, 1981. That's how I talk about the Kelvin movies. Cody Michaels, I like Jason Isaacs. And Jason Isaacs as Lorca. Lorca was fantastic. And Samuel was always like, he's not a good Starfleet captain. He's a fucking amazing Starfleet captain. Yes, he turned out to be a Terran, version and the Mirror Universe version. But he was a good Starfleet captain. No, he's not. He was too militaristic and too blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, he was a good Starfleet wartime captain. Perfect for what they needed. Perfect command style. He was a good captain, period. And he was enough like Prime Lorca that nobody noticed. So that's how Prime Lorca is as a captain as well. And Lorca was amazing. We need Lorca back. He was like one of my favorite things in season 1. Generation Productions. Well, I would, but logic dictates that the TNG caused the fracture in the timelines. Evidence for this is an Enterprise episode ending with a TNG episode. And like I said, TNG Spock created Kelvin. Yeah. The Dark Lord Revan. My friend and I can't remember any of the crew's names other than Michael, Saru, and Stamets. They all have names. I mean, even the bridge crew. There's Bryce and Reese and Detmer and Awashikam. And Mitch. No. What's the lady's name? Is it Mitchell? No, it's not. Then there's Ariam. She's dead now. Yeah. They didn't do a good job with the bridge crew. Terry, very cool ships on Discovery. They just aren't according to pre-existing canon. Even the Klingon ships are great, but they are another species, not Klingon. There's some cool ships in Discovery, but they all look like STO ships or like post-Nemesis, like after the movie Nemesis. If Discovery was just set after Nemesis with the exact same ship designs and the mycelial drive and all that, it'd be like, that's fucking great. Cool, great. But 10 years before TOS with ships that look like that, no. No. Paul N. Star Trek Disco, where everyone gets to tell the captain to F off on the bridge. Yeah. The Dark Lord Revan, $5. As ship counselor once said, we don't have time to talk about timeline. There isn't the time. Generation Productions. To me, what Star Trek Disco is, what happens when you cross Star Wars and Star Trek. The new movies, I mean. Yes, I guess. Carwyn Morris. I think we all wanted the Romulan Wars from Enterprise. Instead, we got the Temporal Cold War. Thankfully, Manny Koto took over. I appreciate season 4 each time I see it. Yes, I just wish they would have been able to continue because they had some good plans for season 5. And I wish they had a chance to actually do them. Season 4 feels very rushed and very good as a result because it's cramming all the best storylines that they were going to do into that season to get it done because they knew they were being canceled. But yes, the Romulan War would have been very preferable to the Temporal War and the Zindies. David Dunn throws in $2. Thank you so much, David. That makes a big difference, so thank you so much. Says, if they make another series based on Disco, I hope not, then they should bring Lorca back, that he made it back from the Disco Terran Empire. Well, there's no evidence that he swapped one for one with his Terran Empire counterpart. He could still have been in the Prime Universe and just been injured or whatever. I don't think it's a rule necessarily that you have to swap one for one to cross over. But yeah, they need to have a Prime Lorca back. Donnie says, the closing theme tune, the one composed by Dennis McCarthy, is among the things I love best about Enterprise, to be honest. Yeah, I don't even mind Faith of the Heart. You know, it actually very much suits that series. When I first heard it, when I first started watching it, I'm like, this is fucking garbage. Why? This is not a Star Trek music at all. But in keeping with the tone and theme of the show, I think Faith of the Heart is fantastic. If you listen to the lyrics, I mean, it fits perfectly with what they're doing. So I have no problem with Faith of the Heart. I actually really kind of enjoy Faith of the Heart. So, but I know which theme you're talking about, Donnie. I know you're not talking about Faith of the Heart. I get it. You're talking about that. Yeah, I can't even do it because I'm not good with music, but you know what I mean. Terry Farley. Yep, lots of ship eye candy, not much else. David Dunn. Greetings, Captain. Foley. Hello, David Dunn. Cody Michaels. I'll take JJ all day, all night, and call him a genius over Disco. That's like, would you like a shit sandwich? Your options are white bread and a bagel to smear it on. Which do you prefer? David Dunn, the old subject, but it's still out there. Your thoughts on the Axonar project? Don't have much. I just wish I'd hear something from them. It looked so promising. It looked so good. The Prelude to Axonar looked cool. I just wish that it would have been handled differently and not fallen in the toilet. Not that it's in the toilet because they are doing stuff, but just the reputation of it became a shit show, and because it affected, or that's when the rules came out, the guidelines for the fan films. Everybody kind of jumped all over Alec Peters and everybody involved with Axonar, and now like Axonar's almost like a dirty word to say. You know, you can't really say your opinions on it, and so it just kind of sucks, is all, because it looked like it was going to be a promising project, and it still might be. I mean, they've released like one or two little things, and apparently they just announced new filming that they're going to be doing, so that's cool. You know, I'm always up for more Star Trek of any kind, so. Yes, Captain, agree. The Federation ships of Disco are future canon. The Klingon ships are just cool, but not Mass Jeffrey's canon for Klingon. Exactly, yeah. Urs says 2 of the actors from Enterprise have their own podcast called Shuttlepod. Yes, Shuttlepod 1 with Trip and Reed. William Buckby. Good evening, sir. How's it going? Goat Farm MB. Oh, right. That makes sense, Captain. Almost like in the TOS episode with the antimatter universe. Oh, you're talking about the one-for-one switchover? Don't know. Eric Martin, watching a video on a warship getting an overhaul, but I'm here now. Okay. Don't fall asleep. Tara, I disagree that Discovery isn't good Star Trek. I agree that there are inconsistencies regarding visuals in the time frame, but the science and effects are so good, and Burnham is very compelling to me. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you enjoy Burnham. You're kind of in the minority on that one specifically. But no, I'm glad you enjoy that and those things, so cool. That's fine. Everybody has their own thing, and that's fine. Plus, Tig Notaro. Yes, we need much more Tig. Jet Reno is a fantastic character, and we need more of her. Absolutely, 100% agree with you on that one. Terry Farley, I'll take the bagel. Cody Michaels, a shit sandwich with lens flare. Those are just sprinkles. Tara, is that an everything bagel, though? What you get to pick. You get to pick what your shit sandwich bagel is on. Doesn't matter. You know, sesame seeds, garlic, whatever. Toasted or untoasted? Again, you get to choose. You get to choose. Paul and Prodigy is the Captain Jellico redemption arc. Philip Gaming, I've always avoided bagels with poppy seeds because of the rumor that it will cause you to fail a drug test. It's not a rumor, it's true. You need quite a few of them, though. And how often are you getting drug tested? Like, why is that an issue? Cody Michaels, that JJ theme music, though, you know we love it. Yes, the soundtrack in the 2009 film is great. That is fantastic. Absolutely top-notch. So, yes, that is probably the best thing that came out of that movie, is the music. So... William Buckby, I like Discovery, an alternate Star Trek with shrooms. Maybe if you watch Discovery while on shrooms, it'll be better and look more like the original Star Trek. Maybe that's what they've been telling us all along. We're all doing it wrong. Philip Gaming, there was a Halloween meme going around with the 2009 JJ Star Trek uniform, but it was basically a whole lens flare. Yeah, I saw that one. Eric Martin, Jellico is proof that people that act like assholes often get promoted. Yeah. Paul N., have you challenged your brother to another fight in Starfleet Battles? Yes, but we just got to make the time from his schedule and my schedule to meet up to do it. Because we need like a whole day to, you know how Starfleet Battles goes. We need a whole day to do even some of the simplest battles. but it's well worth it. But yeah, of course, we have an ongoing campaign, the Romulans against the Federation. The Romulans are actually starting to invade Federation space, and I'm the Federation, he's the Romulans. So we have an ongoing campaign, and that's been going on for years now. We just don't have the time to play, unfortunately. Cody Michaels, Jellico was a great captain. Riker was way out of line. Yeah, Riker was acting like a fucking little crybaby. Crybaby little bitch that didn't get his way, so he could go and go pout in the corner. And honestly, a 4-shift rotation's better, because it's like, then you only have 6 hours of work instead of 8. So, who wouldn't want that? Anyway. Generation Productions, Captain, I just had a great idea. USS Enterprise South Bend toy, and then taking the USS Enterprise A model kit and putting the A decals on the USS Enterprise South Bend toy to make it a Phase 2A. Go for it. I want to see it. MK Dumas, 1981. I disagree. One of the most important concepts in Disco, the spore drive, is utter nonsense. Star Trek science generally tries to make sense, even if it doesn't always, but the spore drive doesn't. Yes and no. The mycelial network is a thing that exists on our planet, with vast areas of the planet being interconnected by this fungal network. So does it expand to space? Who knows? It would be interesting. That's what they kind of went with. But it's actually quite interesting if you listen to the real science on mushrooms and how interconnected they are throughout the planet. It's actually quite intriguing. So the science is questionable for discovery, but not out of the realm of possibility. Terry Farley, the only thing I liked about JJ 2009 is those are some of the coolest Romulans, but they aren't quite the conniving types as found in TOS and TNG. The Romulans from 2009. Well, they were miners, first of all. They weren't just typical Romulans. They were dilithium miners. I think it was dilithium. Anyway, they're all right. Good thing I did my pop culture crossover artwork that are on my DeviantArt page. I'll go check it out, guys. Eric Martin, do you have your TOS rifle yet? No, I get that next Sunday. He's dropping it off next Sunday. Terry Farley and Star Trek 4 Romulan Ambassador. Or Star Trek 6 Romulan Ambassador, sorry. The Dark Lord Revan, Jellico got Troy in a uniform and he gets a pass for me. Pass for that to me. It doesn't affect me one way or the other, honestly. Cody Michaels, Riker was acting a Twitter employee and Jellico actually wanted him to work. Paul N, have you challenged Samuel to a game of Starfleet battles? Can the 90 kids hack it? I don't think he'd have the patience for it. You can simplify the game a little bit, but I don't think he'd have the patience to sit there all day. If we have to go for like a 2-hour car ride when he does come visit, he's like, it's such a waste of my time. There's so much better use of my time that I could be doing in 2 hours. It's like, holy fuck, relax. He gets so uppity because like a 4-hour car, like, yeah, sure, the one trip that we took to Ticonderoga, it's a 7-hour drive from here. It's a long drive, but it's not a long drive for me because I drive to Louisville every year, which is 7.5 hours. And yeah, it's still a long drive, but he's just not, no, I don't know. William Buckby, so Captain, how are you doing? I'm okay. Eric Martin, 4-shift rotations are shorter shifts, but your sleep time keeps changing, which bugs some people. Yeah, who cares about some people? Brian Singleton, Jellico had OCP behind him. After he left the Enterprise, he was assigned to the Mars colony to help Dukat put down the rebels. Get your arse to Mars. That's great. Tara, Jellico had terrible interpersonal skills, and they are usually needed to be a half-decent captain. He's an asshole, and apparently is now an asshole at the admiral level. I don't think he was an asshole. He was very much his own captain, and some captains are stricter. That's fine, just like Lorca, much more strict kind of captain. He didn't have interpersonal skills because he didn't have the time to hold Riker's hand through all those changes, because there was a mission going on, which Riker and the crew really didn't know anything about. Jellico did. He knew what was on the line. He knew what had to be done, and he knew that he had to get it done. So he was focused on his job, and I don't think he was an asshole at all. M.K. Dumas, 1981. Is that scientist Paul Stamets? Yes, the real Paul Stamets. Kloonberg, the tree from Pandora in Avatar did it better. Tara, mycelial network is a real thing, and there is a famous mycologist named Paul Stamets. Yes, actually, he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and that is a fantastic thing to listen to because you get some very cool, interesting facts. So I would suggest anybody go check that out. It's on YouTube, just Joe Rogan and Paul Stamets, and you'll get the, it's like a 2-hour-long podcast. It's well worth it. It was very interesting to listen to. Philip Gaming, what's your favorite retro and modern Star Trek games? Modern, there's not many modern ones, honestly. Modern, I'd probably go with Bridge Crew in VR. Retro, Starfleet Command Volume 2, I really like. Star Trek Armada games. There's lots of great Star Trek games. Just lots of great Star Trek games. Yeah, I don't know. I think Starfleet Command Volume 2 would be my favorite old one. And then, yeah, Bridge Crew being the new one. But if you want like a similar one to Bridge Crew as an old one, I'd go with Bridge Commander. So, there you go. David Dunn, fun history fact. Did you know that Gene Roddenberry was an aviator on the USS Enterprise during World War II? I knew he was an aviator. I didn't know he was on the Enterprise. I thought he flew bombers. So, it's the first time hearing that he was ever on the Enterprise. Paul N., 7 hours will take you from Land's End in Edinburgh. The sheer size of North America irritates Samuel's British sensibilities. Yes, it does. If he has to travel like an hour or 2 hours to go see his grandma, it annoys him. But the roads there are much different than the roads here. The roads here are much faster, I think, because we got a lot more room, and we're not sitting on hundreds of years of history. So things are different here. So yes, absolutely. And the fact is, the UK, like the whole island, because you guys live on an island, and it's all Britain, I don't care what you say, is smaller than my province. The province of Ontario is bigger than your whole goddamn, like, Ireland, Scotland, England, all combined. So to drive up to the far north of my province is like 14 hours. And then you see these TikTokers or whatever that are like, you can drive for 4 hours and still be in Texas. It's like, yeah, fucking come to Canada, asshole. So, yeah. Eric Martin, I thought Roddenberry was a bomber pilot, not a carrier pilot. He was a bomber pilot. The Dark Lord Reverend Samuel seems to get hung up on strange little details during breakdowns that are like, really? That? Yep. And he just goes on and on about them, and I'm like, I think it's fine. Let's move on. And he just drills down on it again. It's like, some days are worse than others. It's fine. It's what it is. Paul N., Star Trek Strange New Worlds, the RTS base builder. I don't know what RTS means. So, Brian Singleton, to be assigned to the Enterprise was for the 1%. The standards and competency was the highest requirement for that posting. Yes. Cody Michaels, I'm a big fan of Jellico. Didn't dig keeping fish in a tank. He was a father, knew what needed to get done, and wasn't going to take any shit from an entitled first officer. Yep, I agree with that. European roads are narrow, and most of those countries are the best way to travel is by train. Yes, 100%. Terry Farley, though Roddenberry was B-17 pilot, Army Air Corps, but maybe he switched to carrier aircraft. Was that a thing to switch services in World War II? Not that I'm aware of. I knew he was a bomber pilot, the B-17 bomber pilot, but I've never heard that he ever served on the Enterprise. MK Dumas, real-time strategy. Okay. That's what RTS stands for. Gotcha. Yes, the Canadian provinces are much larger than the states. Carwin Morris, Section 31, Star Rider and shadowy flight into the Star Rider, a shadowy flight into the crew of a ship that does not exist. A 5-year mission to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in a galaxy of criminals who operate above the law. That's Knight Rider, in case anybody didn't know. Paul and RTS equals real-time strategy. It is a base builder PC game with the phaser tanks, and the Federation base looks like Earth Space Dock. Oh, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Yes. I had that one. And Star Trek Away Team as well. It's kind of similar. Both were great. Yeah. Carbon says not a Section 31 fan personally, though. Me either. Just the original one was like Sloan. In DS9 it was cool, and then they just retconned it and ruined it to be everywhere, and it's just stupid. Eric Martin, I love how those top 10s when Sam picks something odd and you can see the caps what the fuck expression. No, I'm very accepting of his stuff. It's when I pick something and he's like, oh, that's ugly, that makes no sense. And he just totally dismisses anything I pick and my reasons for it, which again depends on his mood. Sometimes he's perfectly fine with everything. Other times he's like, no, I would no. And every time I try to talk to explain it, he talks over me, and that annoys the shit out of me. So, but no, anything he picks, I listen to his reasons, and I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I personally wouldn't have picked that, but hey. We'll send you a pic of it. Okay. Tara, so much understanding for the deeper motivations of Jellico. Fascinating. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to dislike him in Prodigy, especially when he lingers on the Vice in Vice Admiral Janeway. I don't think we're supposed to dislike him necessarily. He's just supposed to be Jellico. He's supposed to be a little put-offish. And yeah, I kind of love seeing Janeway actually having to take orders from somebody, because all through Voyager, she was in the Delta Quadrant by herself. She kind of made all the rules. And even as a Vice Admiral, she's still like telling everybody else what to do, even on the outpost where she's like, this is Vice Admiral Janeway. She even focuses on the Vice, by the way. This is Vice Admiral Janeway. Lock this station down. We have a security breach or whatever. So it's kind of cool to see her get kind of put in her place by somebody like Jellico. It's like, bet you wish you were in the Delta Quadrant now, don't you? Because you wouldn't have to listen to anybody. Or is your Facebook Messenger? Yes. I'll check it later. Generation Productions. For the 1%, the standards and competency was the highest requirement for that posting. Is that because the Enterprise is the flagship, thus ratings for staff and crew had to be higher? Yes, because it's the flagship. Absolutely. Jonathan Bell, 4 hours would be a fairly short drive for Texas. Maybe the TikToker said 7 hours, like a 7-hour drive, and you're still in Texas. It's like, yeah, again, welcome to fucking Ontario. David Dunn, Roddenberry was in Fast, or in fact, the Navy aviator in World War II. Okay, I just know he flew bombers, so. The Dark Lord Revan, if Section 31 is a secret, then why do they have their own badges that are easily recognized? Shh, we don't talk about the badges. Paul N., have you or Samuel played any of the Star Trek pen, paper, and dice role-play games? I did a little bit in high school, but not really. Never really got into it. I don't think Samuel has. Terry Farley, World War II naval aviator after B-17. Work hard to fathom, but I could be wrong. Okay. General Grievous, Jellico isn't a bad captain per se. He's just a bit of a jerk at times. And if you are missing or lost, you are better off with Janeway or Kirk or Picard, who will break the rules to save you. Beverly Hills Officer Riker is Foley, Data is Rosewood, and O'Brien would be Taggart. Bogomil sent Riker to put bananas in the Cardassian's tailpipe. Listen, I ain't falling for no bananas in the tailpipe. David Dunn, and the ship's named Enterprise actually dates back to the American Revolution, hence 11 ships, including CV-80. Tara, it was good to see Janeway in the chain of command. Agreed, but she's right that they can't let the Romulans get the protostar. Yes, but they also can't violate the neutral zone and put at risk the peace talks that are on right now with the Romulans. So they're both right. And did you notice that after that, when she was in front of her crew, she followed her instructions to the ladder? She did not hesitate to push that button to fire those torpedoes to disable the protostar if she needed to or destroy it. She did exactly as her job dictated. Yes, in front of the admiral, she was like, I disagree. And then he says, you have your orders, Vice Admiral. And then she handed the transmission and she kind of clenched her fists a little bit on the console, but she's like, gotta do what I gotta do. And then she did not hesitate in front of her own crew, and I really appreciate that about her. Jonathan Bell, 12 hours per Google for EI Peso. 12 hours per Google for El Paso to Texarkana. Okay, still, welcome to Ontario, where you can drive like, I don't even know how far it is, like 14, 16 hours or something to go up north. Darth Crash-a-Lot, from certain parts of Texas, it's 12 hours. Terry Farley, B-17E, Army Air Corps in Pacific. Yankee Doodle was the name of his plane. Solomon's campaign, likely. Tara, yeah, he is a jerk, and yeah, I'll take Janeway, Picard, Kirk, or Burnham, who will all save my ass. Jellico will save your ass. I disagree that you don't want to be lost with Jellico. If he was in that situation, he would also really take care of his crew. He's actually a captain I would like to have if it was a lower decker and didn't have to interact with him. He's somebody I would want up on the bridge because I know that he would be doing everything possible to keep his ship and his crew safe. So all captains are like that. That's why they're captains. So, and if I don't have to deal with him on a daily basis and his moods, I'm just a lower decker. I have to deal with my manager. He has to deal with his department head, and the department head has to deal with the commander, and the commander has to deal with the captain. That's how it works. So I wouldn't mind being on Jellico's ship. I know that we'd be doing shit that would, be done right. Will you and Samuel do a top 10 fighter craft in sci-fi? I think we probably have done that, top 10. But yeah, we could do another one. Tara, yes, she followed orders. Thankfully, she's got to abort them. Yeah, exactly. General Grievous, the Tal Shiar in this episode would be trying to find ways to scuttle peace talks here, being more warlike and paranoid than a different faction of the Star Empire, like the Navy, like the Natra and Nemesis. Spartan King never really cared for Jellico. That's fine, you don't have to. And I never really liked him either when I was younger. But the older I get, the more I appreciate where he's coming from. And yeah, Riker's a whiny little bitch. So that just makes his Jellico's attitude snowball because Riker's like a little bit entitled. Eric Martin, $20. Any Crown Royal left? Toast for the neutral zone. To the neutral zone. Yeah, I'm running low though. Thank you, Eric. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Cheers. Generation Productions. That's warm. That's a nice warm. I can feel it right down here. Generation Productions. If Section 31 is a secret, then why do they have their own badges? Also, the Delta matches most uniforms in the Federation. Paul N. Top 10 Peregrine fighter pilots. Posthumously. Sorry. Tara. So you're saying the best captains are the ones who serve the needs of the lower decks plasma scrubbers? The best captains are the ones that do everything to make sure their ship and their crew return home, which is every captain. You don't get that position without being that kind of person. It doesn't really matter your command style. All the captains I would want as a captain for various reasons. Terry got number 1 of top 10 sci-fi fighters, the A-Wing. The Dark Lord Revan, I want to see what Jellico did during the Dominion War, personally. Tara, shit, don't tell me that bottle was full when this started. No. It was about there when I started. I've done a few lives with this one. Brian Singleton, if given time, I'm sure Jellico would have softened a bit, and at the same time, the Enterprise crew would have adapted. Exactly. Spartan King, I don't think he's a bad captain. I just don't like his attitude. But like you said, as I get older, that'll probably will change. I don't know how old you are, Spartan King. But yeah, when I was younger, for a long time, I thought Jellico was an asshole. But yeah, those last few years after having kids and being a dad and having my youngest kid now, who's the only one left, he's at 18. He's going to be out of the house soon. I really appreciate Jellico a little bit more. So, you're 23. Yeah, you're still really young. Yeah, I was a much different person at 23. My opinions on things. So, yeah, I think your views on Jellico will change over time, but I could be wrong too. So. Tara, I would be curious about that as well. Possible redemption arc? Doesn't need a redemption arc. He did his job brilliantly in that episode, those 2 episodes, Chain of Command. So he doesn't need a redemption arc. Jellico wasn't wrong as captain. His biggest mistake was not letting the command crew in, that he needed to make changes quickly. Barking orders without making them understand why is detrimental. Yes, that was his mistake. Because he knew everything that was going on, the undercover mission, exactly what they needed to do. He didn't inform the senior staff of the Enterprise. He just came on and this is the way I want it. Done. I got shit to do. He should have brought them all into the briefing room and said, look, there's a lot of things going on behind the curtain that you guys aren't aware of. I need this ship to be where I need it for my command. So I might be able to come across a little harsh, but I'm just telling you, we need to do things quickly. That's what I would have done as a captain. I would have brought everybody in. I wouldn't have just started barking orders at the first officer who's like, yeah, I serve on the Galaxy class. I got serve on the Enterprise. I'm like, yeah, I'm Riker. Luxury liner in space, man. One of the best gigs out there. First officer on the Enterprise. I wouldn't have gone in to somebody like that and been like, I would have been like, we need to talk. Come here. I don't have a lot of time, but you need to just listen to me because we have things we need to do. It's very important. Yeah. Paul N. USS Dauntless shuttles names Kona, Sumatra, Blue Mountain, Kenya, Madagascar, and Folgers. Coffee. Carwin says, Jellico, have you made the changes I asked for, Riker? Not yet, sir. You lazy git. You had one job. Eric Martin, you just have to adjust to leaders like Jellico. He's the captain, and what he says goes, but once you adjust, he would stop picking on you like as a whiny bitch. once you got used to his command style, I'm sure he'd be quite friendly. Cody Michaels, I think people don't like Jellico because he wasn't there to be their friend, or wasn't Roddenberry like. Yeah, yeah. I think Superman with glasses, Clark Kent, is why Section 31 has its badges. More normal, something and people overlook. Like I said, their badge is a delta. No one cares. Only color is asked about. Cody Michaels, I've had many bosses like Jellico. They got shit done, and I never had an issue with them. Tara, yes, Jellico may be very competent, but he needs to engender trust and does not. He didn't have time, Tara. That's what we're trying to say. There was 2 important missions going on at the same time. One was an undercover operation, and he needed to get shit done. He didn't have the time to. I say he didn't have the time. He had the time. He only needed was like 5 minutes. And like I said, me in that role would have pulled them into the briefing room and said, "Look, there's a lot going on that you guys aren't aware of, but just keep in mind, I need things to be run very tight right now. So we're going to snap to. We're going to get this done. If I come across a little gruff, I apologize, but shit needs to get done." And I would have walked out. And now at least they have a kind of understanding of what the hell is going on. Who said A-Wing? Top sci-fi fighter. X-Wing hands down for style and function. General Grievous. Oh my goodness, Jellico was just a more competent version of Admiral Holdo. Oh good God. More God 6. 24-hour drive from Windsor, Ontario to White Dog, Ontario. Closest town on the map, Northwest Ontario border with Manitoba. That's crazy. Can drive a whole day and still be in Ontario. Yeah. Thank you for looking that up. X-Wing is similar to the F-6F Hellcat, F-4 Phantom, FA-18 Hornet. Urs says Jellico would have not said "shut up, Wesley." He would have sent him an airlock. Eric Martin, oh my God, Holdo was super annoying for no reason. Yeah, her not letting Poe in on the plan was a little bit of a different situation, considering. Yeah, that was a different situation, I think. Yeah. Jellico probably commanded a Centaur-class ship during the Minion Wars. I can definitely see him commanding a Centaur ship, absolutely. Paul N. Holdo, Admiral Gender Studies? No. Jellico was competent, just had trust issues with subordinates. Brian Singleton, sometimes your XO and direct subordinates need to know if only the broad strokes. Yes, I 100% agree, and that frustrates me a lot of times in some of these where it's like the captain gets a call from Starfleet and then they're very like, and yeah, they can't tell anybody anything. But yeah, I think in a lot of instances, and we see it in Star Trek all the time, especially with Picard, he'll be acting quite weird, and then finally it'll come to the point where he has to tell Riker or somebody that there's shit happening right now, so just bear with me. So. Terry, FA-18C is not like an X-Wing in style. It's a lot like an X-Wing in style. David Dunn, Jellico, and Excelsior class. Yeah, I can see that as well. Centaur classes are a little more aggressive, though, and a little bit more get in. They're more like a strike ship. Get in, get it done, get out. Excelsiors are more of a get in there, kick the door down, kill a bunch of shit. So I could see him commanding either or, honestly. Galaxy class doesn't really suit Jellico, though. But yeah. Carwin, what odds would you give on Shelby or Barclay making a cameo in Prodigy? Well, Shelby's already made a cameo in Lower Decks. I would give fairly confident odds to both. More so on Shelby than Barclay. I could see Barclay making an appearance on Lower Decks for sure. But Tara says, I don't want to beat a dead horse. It doesn't take that much time not to be a complete SOB. They wrote him that way because it created the conflict. The conflict equals drama equals entertainment. Yes, yes, and yes. Maybe Constellation class. He would not have commanded a Constellation class, no. Cody Michaels, he saw Riker's file and said, "How long have you been here as first officer? How many ships has he turned down?" Exactly. The hell is this guy's problem? He's way too cushy here. I need to teach him what it's really like. Urs says, wasn't Jellico on an Excelsior ship, or was that just the ship moving him from his ship to the Enterprise? That was just the transport ship, much like we see with some of the admirals. Like the Hood would show up with an admiral on board. At least that's the sense that I got. I never got the sense that Excelsior was his ship. So, wasn't the Cairo an Excelsior? It might have been. I honestly don't know what the Cairo was, but it probably was an Excelsior class. Paula Angelica was probably a Galaxy class squadron leader, aka a Commodore, the wartime Galaxy class without the extra friendly outing. No, I don't think so. General Grievous, I would love Trelane to be a one-off fill-in of the week in Lower Decks. That would fit Mike McMahon's writing style. That would just have to find a new voice actor, unfortunately. And then, yeah, Cairo was Excelsior, so there you go. Well, guys, we're almost at that 2-hour mark. We've kind of drilled down really hard on Jellico for some reason. Poor guy. See, the thing that gets me about that, too, is you don't have time to tell everybody what's going on, so you're going to be a little bit of a gruff asshole. Yet you have time to redo your ready room and hang up your kids' ugly-ass fucking crayon paintings. It's a fucking office. Put those in your quarters. I hated the way he had that ready room decorated. Like, whatever. That's just me. It's just me. Imagine a Captain Jellico day. The kids would love it. Cairo was an Excelsior class, a Mark II, similar to the Enterprise B. Yeah, the refit. Wasn't there a comic on Jellico? I don't know. Yeah, have a good night, Cap. Well, I'm not leaving quite yet. Soon, in a few minutes. Wait for Watkey to pop in. Defend. Aaron Watkey, you here? Watkey. Probably because Commander Shelby wasn't a good tactician or weapons designer. Cody says, haha, right? Jellico's Roughnecks. He should have had a squad named that. Eric Martin, so what did you think of the Andor overall? I loved Andor. I thought it was fantastic. It took me, like, the first 2 or 3 episodes were a little slow for me, but then it got very good, and they look much better in retrospect. It's good. And even that end credit scene, that post-credit scene, that was cool. That was really cool. Shelby would be a great XO for Jellico. Jellico or Nechev are from the school of hard knocks, having fought in the Cardassian War, while Picard was trying to cuckold Jack Crusher's wife. Wow. Tara, don't disparage Aaron that way. I think he was being mean to Aaron. It's just... I joke no one would defend Jellico. Carwin, I'm heading to bed. Have a great night. Good night. Yeah, I'm going to be closing out here in a minute. So thank you for joining us, Carwin. Good to see you again. So tomorrow we have an episode coming out about the Romulan Strike Force in this last episode of Prodigy and their weapons and stuff. So check that out. Like I said, Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Sean Ferrick from Trek Culture joining us on our live. So come join us at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday. Tuesday, we have Nim from... who plays Officer Keeley in the short treks. She's going to be joining us on Tuesday for a live. So we got a lot of cool lives and a lot of good videos coming out. So make sure you tune in for that. There you go. Shelby wasn't so bad. She knew what she wanted and she went for it. Still hate Bitchnev. I think it's funny. The actress that played the Chev was just such a nice lady. She's so nice. We met her. I met her in Vegas, and we sat and talked for like 20 minutes. It was great. Um, Eric Martin, I know how you finally find out what the prisoners were building in Andor. Yeah, yeah. Tara votes 8.2 out of 10. Oh wait, there's no vote. No, there's not. Wow, I stayed awake for a whole live. Yeah, but you weren't here from the very beginning, so it doesn't really count now, does it, Eric? There was a vote earlier during the live, Tara. And Jellico and the Chev just needed a little love. And Tranya. Everyone loves Tranya. I hope you relish it as much as I. Anyway, on that note, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. It was a fun discussion, and it always is with you guys. The first couple minutes are a little rough because there's like nobody here, and I'm like talking to myself. But hey, thank you for joining me, guys. Really appreciate you, and hope you'll see us this weekend on our edited videos, and next weekend on our lives, and whatever else we have coming out. We always have content coming out, so you're never short of Trekyards if you miss us. There's always something to watch. So until next time, guys, this is Captain Foley signing off. Night, everybody.